Hi guys, just wanted to come in very quickly and say that before you start watching the video and investing time in it, it is super long and I don't expect people to watch it. I don't expect you to watch it all or, watch it at all. I've done it deliberately for people who want to download the image and play along, and if you're not interested in doing that, fine, absolutely fine. Don't bother watching, it's really long, okay? So the option's there. If you want to play along, download the image, draw along, play along with me. If not, you can skip to the end to see what it looks like. Okay, thanks folks. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am just coming on, I'm going to share a picture that I made yesterday, or I'll talk about that in a minute. I've been chatting to a few people, and there's a lot of people out there who have got some kind of physical illness at the moment, or mental illness, or they're just feeling a bit low and they don't really know what to do with themselves. And so I thought I would share something that might help one or two of you. I'm usually quite a positive person, and I'm quite happy getting on and doing my own thing. Yesterday I've got a million things to do and I did not want to do any single one of them. I just sat here and I thought, I just don't want to do anything. And I thought, what can I do? Find something to do, don't just sit looking at your table. So I found a colouring picture, which is what this is, or was. Okay, so I took a colour. Now this is a scanned image of one of my own colouring books. So I just scanned it, cut out the bit that I wanted to use, and had a play with it. So you can use your own colouring books for doing any of this, or I'm going to leave a link in the description box to the next image, which is this one here, which I'm going to start doing with you, so we could all do it together. I'll show you what I've been doing with that. But do be aware, if you search for free images, there are an awful lot of things which aren't actually free. It's fine for your own personal use, but things like Pinterest, and they're not a great source for free images. People steal images and put them on there and say that they're free, and so if you're ever selling work or doing anything like that, don't grab something that just says free. Do your research first. I know for a fact that I was looking for something to share with you, and pictures like this were coming up because somebody had taken the colouring book, photocopied it, and then said that the images were free. Now, they were foreign countries, and probably it's very hard to check up and trace what's going on. So just be aware, if you're actually going to be selling stuff or something like that, you need to make sure your image really is free to use. That being said, for your own personal use, doesn't really matter. So hopefully the image that I have chosen that we could all work on is one that is free to use. It does say so, and it's from I think it's from a colouring website, but be that as it may. So this is the one that I have got. Now you can, I'll leave a link to it in my description box. You can print it out. You can print it out on normal paper, but I've printed mine out on 300 GSM card, only because I'm going to be using alcohol markers and they bleed through and I should get in a mess without. But you don't need to have that. You don't need to use alcohol markers. You could use pencils, crayons, whatever you've got. If you wanted to do it in watercolour, I suggest you print it on watercolour paper. But other than that, you can do what you like. Now, I am using alcohol markers, like I said. I'm going to stick to a Christmas theme. I've got a black one, a green one, and a red one, and that's all I'm using. I have got two fine liners. I've got a green one and a red one, which I may or may not use. I don't know yet. And I've got my black pens that I do use. Now I use the Unipin fine liners, but any fine liner will do. I've also got some of these Pigma Microns as well. anything will do. Any black pen would do. It doesn't have to be a fine liner. The only thing I'll say is have a practice on a bit of paper to make sure the pen that you use and the colouring things that you use are compatible and that they're not going to smudge all over the place. I know that when this dries, I'll be able to use an alcohol marker and it won't bleed out everywhere. So yeah, a fine liner. Now I shall probably use a 0.2 for most of it, but I do like my 005 for the very fine details. That's not essential. You don't need to have anything. If you've got a black pen, really that's all you need. And you don't have to copy mine. You can copy it, but you can do your own thing. Go off at your own tangent and do what you want to do. But I thought I would show you what I was going to do. And you can do this with any colouring book. It doesn't have to be this picture or any picture. Start with something. I have to have it that way around because I don't like it being lengthways. And then we're going to start doing a little bit of doodling on it. So grab your supplies, grab your piece of colouring book, and you think you might want to use a white pen as well at the end. I don't know whether or not I will. I probably won't actually, but you know, these are the tools of the trade. Just have a quick slurp of tea. Hang on. Grab yourself a cup of tea and then we'll be off. So what I'll probably do is just do a quarter of this to show you how to do it, because this is more or less symmetrical, and you could just repeat that all the way around. But I'm just going to show you a few techniques and you can use those with any of your colouring books. And it's just something a little bit different, and it's not just colouring. You're doing a little bit of doodling, and yeah, I think you'll have some fun. Right, so I'm going to start over here with this bit here, and I'm going to start. I don't know if hopefully you can see what I'm doing, but I'm starting in the middle of here, and I'm just going to draw a line all the way down the centre. Yeah, my hand did shake then, it doesn't matter. And the same for this one. I'm going to try and keep this relatively symmetrical. I'm not going to worry about it. And then I'm going to get a slightly bigger pen. You could use your felt pen or a bigger fine liner. And I'm going to put a dot on there and there. And then equally spaced, I will do the same all the way down the line. I'm not going to worry too much about it, matching up. Not going to count them. I'm just going to, try. There, that'll do. Okay, so that's the first little thing I'm going to do. What should we do in here? In this little bulbous bit here, I'm going to add something a bit more organic. So I'm just going to draw a little line with not a dot as such, just don't even know what you'd call it, just a slightly fatter end. And I'm going to do another one there. I'm not doing them the same height. And I've got to do a third one. I might just leave it at 2 actually. I think that will do for that. Right, let's have a look at these bits here. Now, depending on how fine your pen is, you could perhaps make those into flowers, or I'm going to have a go at flowers. So I'm just going to do a little circle in the middle, and I'm going to do 5 petals, and the same on this side. Like that. And don't worry, they don't have to be perfect. We're not aiming for perfect here at all. Now with this one around the outside, I'm just going to do sort of, I don't know if you call them scallops, or I don't know, half circles just around the edge like that. I think it's just a good way of bringing an ordinary colouring book. And in fact, the best type of colouring books are ones which are not too detailed. Like adult ones can be a little bit too detailed. They've already got everything in there and you can't really add that much to it. I mean, you can try. but I think ones, you know, children's ones or ones where the design is fairly simple would be the best. And I'm going to put a little dot. Now my eyesight is not great at a distance like this, so forgive me if they're not in the centre, but it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to add a little dot, and you can see some of these are bigger than others. It doesn't matter. We're not aiming for perfect, we're having fun. Okay, so we're just putting a little dot in like so. So that wasn't even in the centre, but it doesn't matter. Don't add any pressure to your life. Use this to just relax and enjoy, create something. It doesn't have to be a masterpiece. You don't even have to show anybody if you don't want to. Right, I'm going to, this bit along the top, I'm just going to add some stripes to it like that. That will do for there. Right, where should we go next? I'm thinking maybe we'll go over here. So I'm going to use this, I don't know what to call it, it's like a worm type thing over here. And I'm just going to add some bands on the worm. Like I said, you don't have to do the same. You can do your own thing. You can use a different picture and use some of the techniques. What I'm doing is embellishing what's there. So it's given me something, a framework to work in, so I haven't got to worry too much about it, and then I can just do my own little doodles as I go. Right, so there's that bit. Maybe for this wormy thing, we'll just do some bigger stripes. So I'm just because it is curved, I'm just curling them slightly as we go around. Something like that. Because when we colour it in, we can add some details afterwards anyway. I think with this one, I'm going to do the same as I did for this sort of heart-shaped thing. I'm going to start in the middle. I'm going to just keep the line in the middle, like that. Try and stay in the middle. And I'm going to add some dots like I did. So I'm going to put a dot here. And then just as we go along, doesn't really matter. And you can do it with, I mean, I've got a thinner pen I was drawing the line with. I could have done that, but it just takes longer to do the dots. And for the sake of all our sanity, I thought I would speed it up with a thicker pen, but you don't need one. Right, what else have we got? I mean, some of these things you can't really tell until you get, you know, get colouring, what you want to do with it. Let's have a look at this bit here. We've got another kind of worm effect, and this one I'm just going to go up here. I'm going to draw a line. I'm going to try and stay more or less in the centre, but it really doesn't matter. I'm going to stop, take my pen off, and then I'm just going to do 3 dots. 1, 2, 3, and kind of follow the line so it looks like it organically goes that way. And I'll do the same for this little one here. So I'll just come down the middle. And I think this one I might only just do 2 dots, like that. Right, where should we go next? That's next to where we just finished here. And I've got these sort of, it's another kind of heart shape sort of thing. And I think what I'll do for that again is just some little stripes. So I'm just going to, thinking about the colours that I'm going to be using, which are literally red, green, white and black. So there's one like that, and we'll do the same for this little one here. Like that. So not really adding a huge amount right at the moment. I think for these, let's do some little scallops like this, just in here. I'm going to stick a dot, and I'll do this one the same as well. With a dot, and I might as well do this one while I'm here, but I've kind of gravitated to another segment which I can colour in my own time. Right, let's have a look here. This stem here, or should we start? We could start right in the centre, couldn't we? I'll tell you what we will do. So I'm going to decide that mine is going to go that way up, and I'm going to put a heart right in the centre of the circle in the middle. That's what I'll do, and I will put some more scallopy things around that. Because what I'm doing is leaving areas that I can leave white, just to add a little bit of interest. And these balls, I'm going to try and make them into Christmas baubles, so I'm just going to do a little, give it a little band, and then you can put a little pattern in the middle. I'll do the next one as well. Same sort of thing. Something like that, a bit like a Christmas bauble anyway. Right, shall I add any more detail at the moment, or shall I just I think I will just have a look at this area here. I'm going to add a stripe like that. I think on that little wormy thing. And I'm going to put a dot in the middle of this one, and I'm going to switch to a much finer nib. Hang on, I'm going to have a drink as well. Right, so I've put a dot in the middle. I've got a finer pen. You can do it with a thicker one, but it's obviously, it looks a little bit neater with a thinner pen. So I'm just going to put 4, divide it into quarters, and then I'm going to put 2 lines in each segment. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how it goes. Let's do something with these as well while we're here. I'm going to put these into quarters as well, just like that. And this bit in here, I'm going to put some stripes down it like that. Now, I think in a minute I'm just going to do some colouring and then come back in with a marker after I've done that, because it's hard to see where we're at right at the moment. Let's have another bauble there. Something like that. Right, let's get a bit of colour down. I'm starting with my red, and you know, don't feel constrained to Christmas colours. Do the colours that you like. If you like pastel colours or blues or pinks or something like that, use what you've got. And you know, oh, hang on a sec, I think the post lady's coming. Sorry about that, it was indeed the post lady. My order from Lush had arrived, but it had been damaged in transit, so I had to just go through the order and make sure everything was in there, since the whole side of the box was ripped open. But it was all there. And because these alcohol markers it would probably be better to go over the colour a couple of times at least. I think they say 3 times, don't they? But for a perfect cover, well, don't think we're going to be getting that. Okay. Right, I think I will stick with the red and just do my petals. A little bit hard for me to see at this distance, but used to my nose being on the page. So what I'll do is I'll try and look at, you know, what I've got and think of, you know, well, I've still got a red pen. I do, rather than chopping and change between each pen. I mean, obviously you don't know, and you might want to you know, do a bit in one colour, then do another. I'm lazy. I'll try and do a bit in one colour and then I'll go in with another and then see what else we need. So anyway, I just thought it was a different way of colouring, just tarting up your colouring books a little bit, and I thought if people wanted to actually do the same as what I'm doing at the moment, you could download the image and have a play. Right, I'm going to colour this bit in. Try not to keep, which is why I'm only going to do a quarter of the image, then you can repeat it, because it is quite, I'm slow and it is quite time consuming. The one that I showed you, this one, did take me the best part of a day to do. Well, put it this way, at about 1:20, my husband asked if we were having lunch, and then the next thing I knew, we did have lunch, and it was about 5:30. I was like, oh, guess I better start thinking about dinner sometime soon. An easy way to spend a day anyway. It's quite fun and it's relaxing, and you can put you know, if you're quite happy going alone and doing your own thing, you can put a video on, or crafting videos, or you could watch a movie, or Peaky Blinders Day, you could watch Peaky Blinders. And I'm still keeping with the red, because the only other colour I'm adding is green. There will be I will be leaving some places white, and I'll be perhaps adding a bit of black, but I'm only using 2 colours. That doesn't mean you have to. You can do everything a different colour. You can make it a rainbow, whatever you fancy. I'm trying to go festive, but I think a lot of people aren't really feeling it this year. It's beginning to feel more Christmassy. When both the girls are here, it'll be, even though one's got a lot of uni work to do and the other is working until the week of Christmas. But I think my husband's taking that 2 weeks off as well, so that will be nice. And I'm sure we'll be playing lots and lots of games, which is what we like doing. And we do play online games. We did play last night. We played an online game. All 4 of us managed to play last night, which was good. But we play lots of games, board games. We play games on the computer, Minecraft, all sorts of things. It's quite a good way to connect with people when you're, at a distance. Oh, my hands smell of lovely goodness from Lush now, because I ordered some soaps and I think I've got some on my hands and it's lovely. I love Lush. I used to use it when I was a student. 30 odd years ago. Before it was called Lush, I think it was called Cosmetics to Go then. But yeah, lovely, lovely, lovely. Right, I'm going up here with a bit of red. These things look a little bit heart-shaped, I think. Actually, it looks a wishbone. Says somebody who hasn't seen a wishbone for, I wouldn't like to say. I did used to eat meat when I was a child because I didn't know any different then. Let's do this one. It's going to be weird just doing a quarter and leaving it. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do that. Might just add those bits there because I think it will annoy me otherwise. There we go. What else shall we do? What else do I want to do in red? No, I'm going to leave. I was going to do those, so I think I'm going to leave the red for a minute until I've done some green. So I'm going to do this bit here in green. When you can, obviously you do it your way. Don't have to do red and green, as I've said before. I'm going to do my little circles here in green. I think even that one there. Shall leave that, but I'm going to colour in around these balls here. I shall decorate those with some pen in a minute, some black pen. But for now we'll just colour around them. That's what I mean when you're doing it. When you're not like just copying what I'm doing. If you're just doing it for yourself, it's an organic thing. You do a bit and then you think, oh, I'll just put some pen on that, and I'll just do that bit in this colour, and I'll just do that bit in that colour, and that needs a bit of something. But it is a lovely way to lose yourself. And it's something that everybody can do. I know a lot of people look at my doodles and they think, oh, they look really complex. I could never do that. Well, I have tried to make some of them really simple that you can look at it and think, oh, I could do that. And, a lot of things are just, I'd say they're just practice, but a lot of them are just organic. You just get started and then you think, oh, I could just add that. Oh, I could just do that. And then, before you know it, the day is gone and the washing's still waiting to be done and dinner still needs cooking and who cares? Certainly not me. I do always go round things when I'm colouring because my hands do sometimes tremor, and it's more forgiving that way. Let's have a little bit of green in there. That I'm hoping to do a black. Let's do this bit here. Let's have a bit of green there. This was going to be green, I think. But anyway, you get the drift. Do it quickly because I just want to go back in with a black pen and show you a couple of things that I wanted to add. Something with a black felt pen, and then some, well, not felt, a marker, and then something with a fine liner as well. Do you see what I mean about the colouring? You need to go over it with an alcohol marker a couple of times to get a good coverage. That will do for my lazy colouring there. Let's get this one. Oh, so I wanted to do this one black and white. I think I will start with black there. Doesn't matter. I do love black and white stripes. And you probably noticed because a lot of my art journaling and things ends up with black and white stripes, black splatters and a black edge. We all have our little quirks. There we go. So that will do, I think, for that. Where's my little pen? Right here. So for some of these, what I'm going to do is just put some fine lines up there. I suppose I could do them here as well. Something like that anyway. And we're going to make these stripy up here. Just using a thinner nib, you can get different sort of textures going on. There we go. And it just adds a little bit of something without actually adding anything, if you know what I mean. You could colour these things in, but sometimes leaving some negative space makes the things that you do colour look a bit more interesting. So I'm not going to do all of these. I think I'll do some stripes here. Obviously easier to do if you've got a very thin nib, but not impossible. Just do them a little bit further apart if you've got a fatter nib. I think it's little touches like this that make the picture come alive. Okay, so might just do those like that. These here I'm going to give little lines to as well. And here. And I'm rushing a bit. You don't have to rush like me. I'm conscious of the fact that this video gets really long. I'm sure you don't want to be sitting through hours of me colouring and yapping. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do for this. On this wormy thing here, I'm going to take my black pen, and on the white bit I'm just going to do a very fine line, a couple of lines like that, and I'm rotating it so that I'm going with the curve, if you see what I mean. For me it's easier to draw in one way. Let's move those out of the way. So you can see just adding a little bit of detail like that and it makes all the difference. Where else did I see something that I was going to do? Oh, here, but I haven't coloured it in. Let's colour it in. That needs to be green. I did see something when I was colouring it in before and I thought, oh, I'll come back and put some pen on. That's the problem. You think, oh, I'll come back and put some pen on that, and then you can't see where it was that you coloured it in. Not sure now. Don't know. Anyway, I'm sure it'll appear. I'm going to do another sort of stripy worm here. And we'll do that one. While we're here. Right, this one's going to be red and white. So I'll do this one while I'm here. Something like that, anyway. And I will put some dots on these. So I'm just going to put 3 dots. Follow it round. In fact, I could have used a thicker pen because this is really, really hard to see. But anyway, so that's just added a little something there. I will do the same as I did. I'm going to do a dot there and a dot there and the same. To those. So that's looking a little bit more interesting. And then where you've got just these little white spaces, you could add some dots. Like this one isn't symmetrical, so it doesn't matter. The same goes for here, just adds things where you see them, where you think they need them. Something like that. It just perks up those little areas. What shall we do now? I'm going to make that one into a bit of a... I'm just going to do a zigzag on that one. I think they look a bit like baubles like that. Let's use a slightly thicker pen because I'll be here all day colouring with that. Right, this bit here, I'm just going to add some stripes. And I didn't even draw those, I've just used the pen. Like that. But you get the drift, you see what I'm doing. Let's add a bit of green to there because I've just seen that could do with a bit of colour in here. So hopefully I'll soon have done a quarter and I can leave you to do the others yourselves. But if you want, you know, if you're looking for something to do and you didn't want to, and we don't need a lot of equipment for this either, some felt pen, some black pen, a colouring book, that's it. So I think I'm doing this to avoid doing some of the things I don't want to do. Not that there are, you know, there's not a lot of things that I need to do, but I want to make some giant Christmas crackers, but because I'm not really sure what I'm doing with them, I keep thinking about them, but I don't actually get on and do them. And then I find a million other things to do instead. But I need to crack on and do those. Crack on with my crackers. I think I will do... Antonio had got a template type thing that I will... tutorial. I think I might be able to adjust it for some large crackers. You will see. Okay, so we've done that. Okay, it's not coloured very well, but I'm going to shoot on. So these little bits here, again, I'd probably just put some little lines on those because it just, you see what I mean? It just, to me, it just looks like that little bit extra. Like that. And, I mean, this is a bit weird because it's not, I mean, it isn't symmetrical, which is good because, you know, it looks more organic, but... So just do your own thing. Pretty certain that each of these is not the same as well, so I'm just going to add a few dots and be done. That will do. Right, is there anything else that I could do to make that a bit more interesting? Yes. We could do these. I think I'm going to cut them in half and then just put some lines on one half, and I'm not going to do them the same orientation deliberately. I think I'll do them all like that. I'm not going to do all the same orientation, she says, doing them all the same. These are very tiny there, it doesn't really matter. It just adds a little bit of drama. Where do we start? I think I'll stop in there for those. Now these ones, I'm using a smaller a fine liner only because I know that I will mess it up with that big pen. So I'm going to try and do something different with each one, but it's just something like that. And I shall go back and put a dot in the centre of the white ones. Something like that, anyway. But anyway, you get the idea of what I'm up to. I'm just trying to just make it a little bit more interesting. Got to have a red heart, haven't we? Oh, I'll stop there because I know I'm just going to keep going forever otherwise. She says just add in a bit here. I'm hoping that I've done a whole quarter of it so that you can more or less see what I've been doing. So I'm going to put a dot in each of those. And actually, because this looks quite bare, I'll probably put some lines in it. Like that. There we go, something like that anyway. Is that a whole quarter? Not quite, I haven't done this bit here. Should I do that? I suppose I could. Right. This is a green and white wormy thing. Candy cane or heart, I don't know. They look like worms to me. I quite like worms, so I will keep with the worms. I know they're not everybody's cup of tea. Right, I should do the same here. I'm just doing a couple of dots and a line. I'm not sure what I'll be able to do. Just something like that for there. And then I'll add a little bit of red. I don't know if I can do it with this big one. Let's just try. I'm actually going to go in there with the red. And then some of these balls here, rather than add colour to them, I'm just going to give them a bit of a crosshatch effect. I could have done that a little bit neater rather than rushing it, but that's essentially all I'm doing. Something like that. Just adds a little bit of detail without actually adding any more colour. Something like that. There you go. I'm sure. I can't stop, you see. It's addictive. Once you get going, as soon as you put your lid on your pen, you see something, you think, oh, I'll just do that bit. I'll just do that bit. Just that little bit there. Because why not? Oh, I'm not going to do that black. Look, this bit here, let's add some dots instead. I was going to do it stripy, but I'm just going to add some dots instead up there. I might add a dot in there. Like that. Right, I am really going to stop there and let you get on and do it yourselves. But that's my sort of quarter. And if I carry on avoiding the things I need to do today, I might finish that. Otherwise it might be something that I put aside for a bit and come back to. You don't have to do it all in one go. All right, folks, so have fun. And, you know, even if you don't use this design, remember you can do it in any type of colouring. Look, there's mine, which really didn't look anything like that. You know, it got these basic lines here and this and the curves, but I've added this bit here. I've added, I think. I really can't remember what I've done and what was already there. But yes, have a go, have a play, enjoy yourselves, and I'd love to see them. If you do them, show them, let me see. All right, folks, I'm leaving. Have a good day and happy crafting, and speak to you again soon. Bye for now. Hello again. Very quickly, I have come back to show you the finished article. I don't think I've missed anything, but it's possible that I have. I'm looking at it now thinking, have I missed something? Yeah, I can see something I've missed, which I will sort out quickly now. Something like that, I think I hadn't done. But yes, it's taken me about an hour-ish, maybe a couple of hours to finish off. The colouring's not great, my pens are running out, but they weren't any cheap pens from Amazon. and I've used them for both the doodle series that I've done, so you know, it's especially the last one's been quite heavy on red, so it's to be expected, I guess. I have other colours, but my red and green are not, or my favourite red and green, shall we say, are running a bit low on ink. Anyway, thought I'd just share you what it looked like when I had finished, and I hope that if you do this or something similar, that it gives you lots of fun. And yeah, I'll be back again soon. All right, folks, bye for now.